Now a story that City News is following here. A chilling tale of a GTA rapper, John Rivers' healthcare nightmare. It's coming to light. It was in 2017 the now 25-year-old walked into a hospital complaining about blinding headaches and mysterious chest pains, but he says health professionals didn't believe him. City News reporter Faiza Amin joins me now. This is a story you've been following for some time. You feel very passionate about. Tell me about what happened to John here.
Well, it's important to note that John Rivers' story isn't only happening to one person here. This is something that continuously is happening to more and more Canadians, and we don't talk about it too often. And so I had the opportunity to sit down with him for about 2 hours for the first time since he announced on social media that he was facing this medical mystery, is what he called it then. And he's finally speaking out for the first time, he says, just because he wants people to know that his story isn't unique.
It's not unique, and we're talking specifically, let's be clear, about racism within the healthcare sector. So you sat down with him, and he said something very chilling when it came to when he went to hospital.
And I do want to give you a bit of a background. So it took him 60 days to get this emergency treatment. And within those 60 days, he visited over 5 different hospitals in the GTA. And at each one, the second he walked in, he already experienced some form of racism, being told or being accused of faking his symptoms in order to get drugs for himself or sell these drugs out on the streets later on. In some cases, he was even accused of imagining these symptoms. And so he was actually placed in a psych ward for 2 days. And I want you to hear this chilling clip from him talking about kind of something his mom had to do in order to ensure that he received the level of care that he needed.
Okay, let's listen in.
I think what pinpointed it to me is as I was ambulatory and getting onto a stretcher, my mother was trying to fasten on a button-up shirt to my unconscious body on a stretcher, hoping that when I walked into the hospital or was carried into the hospital, I might get better treatment because they wouldn't think I was selling drugs.
Wow. Just hearing him talk about that really gets to the heart of it. Now, you said that he was sent to a psych ward because they said they didn't think these were real symptoms.
Exactly. So they thought that he had some form of anxiety or depression, and they placed him in a psych ward because he refused to take the medication.
Now, what was actually wrong with him?
So he had a procedure done back in late 2017, a spinal tap. And so he suffered complications because of the spinal tap, and he needed this emergency treatment in order to treat that. And I spoke to a number of healthcare professionals kind of saying, okay, this patient walks into your hospital, here is a list of their symptoms. What would you do? So all these professionals said within minutes of speaking with him, it would be determined that he received this procedure, the spinal tap procedure. And so it would be a no-brainer. He would need this emergency procedure, follow-up procedure right away.
And instead it went to 60 days before he got what he needed.
60 days.
And luckily, no long-term effects.
He looks great so far. I spoke with him. He says he's taking it day by day. February actually will mark 2 years since he's received this treatment. You know, he's doing great. But before we started the interview, he told me, listen, I'm angry and I'd like to express my anger not only for myself, but for many of these people who don't have the same platform that I do. As you mentioned, he's an award-nominated rapper. And so he does have some sort of a platform. And at a recent award show, actually, some of the artists actually came out in support of him wearing his name on their T-shirts. So he finds that it's his responsibility now to speak out about this issue, which, by the way, is no secret. Medical professionals in the industry, the province, they've all acknowledged that this is a problem.
What a story. All right, you're going to have more on City News tonight at 5 and 6. You can go to our website now, citynews.ca, where the full story is there. We will bring you more tonight. Faiza, I appreciate your time. Thank you so much.